And we are live.
Welcome back to Checkpoint, your number one show rounding up all the hottest gaming news stories of the week and discussing all the relevant topics you need to know about. I'm one of your hosts, James Walmer, joined by the last Italian man in San Francisco, Vincent DeSantis. Thank you so much to our audio listeners helping us out there. Thank you so much for those downloads, for those reviews. Guys, if you're listening to this, you're probably listening to it on YouTube since we didn't go live on Twitch for this one. So you can find us at youtube.com/strictlycasual and twitch.tv/strictlycasualofficial. Did I hit everything then?
Yeah, that's about it. That's about right.
All right. Helps us out a lot. Don't
and
forget
Twitter.
And Twitter.
Come hang out on Twitter.
Twitter.com/strictlycasualofficial. Yeah.
I think we got Strictly Casual. We have
all right.
Yeah, Strictly Casual. So sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit those reminders. All the things.
That's right, baby. 50 subs in 1 week this week on YouTube, which is really exciting. Yeah, that's fun.
Guys, today, Checkpoint is brought to you by Manscaped, but we will talk about that later.
Yes.
Today, we're talking about a lot of stuff. We got a lot of games industry, politics. We got the Stream Deck, and we got a lot of updates on a lot of new games coming up. Vincent, how are you doing? What are you playing?
Dude, I'm doing okay. I've just like an existential stress point right now where I just like cannot enjoy anything in my life right now until like even things that I'm supposed to enjoy, James. You know? I don't know. I'm just constantly thinking about the next thing.
To enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, that's fine. I'm just living with it. We're coasting right now.
Sure.
But I've been playing some cool games. I mean, I'm getting closer to that Scarlet Nexus Platinum. We're at 40 something hours on that game. I'm almost done with the second storyline. Second storyline was almost more fun than the first, which is awesome.
Really?
Yep. So that was really big positive because I thought it was going to be a little more grindy. Did that. Play a little more Ratchet and Clank. I've been playing.
To pace yourself on Ratchet and Clank.
So slow. I play like once a week. I've a couple hours. I'm like, oh, this is great, and then that's it. I've been playing Splitgate a bunch with some friends.
Dude, you and Splitgate.
Having a great time with Splitgate. Yeah. It's just a good time.
Cool.
I think if I can find a multiplayer shooter that I can play with friends like regularly, I can get into it. It's easy for me to get into. And then last but not least, yesterday, Pokemon Unite came out, and I've played probably like 5 or 6 matches of Pokemon Unite, and I'm enjoying it. Something that I had absolutely no interest in and probably looked pretty bad when I saw it first. I'm enjoying it. What about you?
Cool. Let's see. I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 3. I spent like the entire last week trying to beat Prince Lothric and Lorien, which is like excuse me, like second to last boss in the game, I think. But finally beat him like the other day before I went to work. I said, all right, I'm gonna give this a few more tries. So I spent like half an hour just doing and it took like 3 goes, and then on the last one I finally just hit it, and it just felt so good.
Oh yeah.
I jumped into Hollow Knight because so many people have been telling me to jump into Hollow Knight, and I just saw it on. I was scrolling through the deals, and it was on there, and I already had it from a PlayStation Plus of years past. And
the full deluxe edition.
You know what? Yep. I said, you know what? I'm going. So I went in, and it's so frustrating sometimes because it's like a Metroidvania where you have to like go back and get your stuff after you die, but I made like solid progress.
Good.
And played like hour and a half, and it was just so incredible.
So I'm seeing the speedrun community of Hollow Knight like really kind of like reemerge right now. I think the world record's like just over an hour, which is wild. I had a buddy do it in like 3.5, and he was freaking out. I'm like, that's insane. That's crazy. That's a pretty long game if you don't know how to play it. So yeah, that's wild. It's good stuff.
Everything is just so like touchy because it's that like that. The combat is so simple. It's just one button, but you have to really figure out like the right range and the right way, because every time you hit an enemy, you also knock back a little bit.
Right.
So you have to like adjust for like knockback and environmental.
You're jumping into them.
Like,
jumping
you're
out.
Jumping into them, jumping out, just to narrowly miss that window of that hitbox.
It's cool. Every time I see someone play it, I'm like, one day.
And it's gorgeous. Like I love the art style.
Right. It's sick.
Yeah.
Well,
and start us off.
First up, big piece of news. This is a couple days old at this point, but still news for Checkpoint. So here's what we got. The Steam Deck is a handheld gaming PC from Valve. This comes from respawnstation.com. The Steam Deck is a handheld gaming PC that looks like a bulkier big brother to the Nintendo Switch. The system runs a version of Steam OS, which will give Steam a more console gaming user interface. And along with being able to play your favorite PC games on the go, you can also plug the system into a display and use the system's USB-C port and use it as a gaming PC, which was super interesting when I saw the video about that. The Steam Deck has a 7-inch LCD screen that is 1280 by 800 resolution, so just above 720, I guess. The system has a custom AMD APU 4-core and 8-thread CPU, 8 RDNA, 2 compute units for GPU, and 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM, so less than DDR6. Okay.
Yes.
The system will boast a full-size controller with thumbstick and triggers as expected, but it also has trackpads for increased precision in FPS games. Let me just tell you, it looks kind of weird. It does look a little weird. If you see pictures, the thumbnail of this video,
right at the top.
Yeah, so you got the sticks in, and then on the outside of that are buttons, and then underneath those sticks are your trackpads that you can kind of run with your fingers. It's kind of interesting. The system will also be accompanied by a wide range of accessories that will be sold separately, including an official dock, which lets you plug the system into an external display, just like the Switch. The dock will let you charge the system, plug in peripherals like keyboard and mouse, and hardware internet via Ethernet port to have faster speeds. Okay, and then Valve Steam Deck will start shipping in December. So we got a little ways to go, and it will be available at 3 price points for each of its models. The base model comes in at $399 and will have 64 gigabytes of internal storage with a carrying case. James, 64 gigabytes is not even enough for a AAA game these days.
Not a lot.
Not even a single AAA game.
Not a lot.
So maybe this would be a good thing for you if you're planning on playing indies on Steam. But
yeah,
Switch is a pretty great place to play indies too. You know what I mean? But the Steam Deck is a gaming PC. You could plug it in, right? It's kind of crazy, so I don't know. There will also be a for $529, you'll have a 256 gigabyte SSD in there, so a little faster. And then you can get a high-end Steam Deck for $649, which has 512 gigabytes of SSD storage, premium anti-glare etched glass, a special carrying case, a Steam community profile bundle, a virtual keyboard theme. Despite the difference in storage, Valve promises there's no difference in frame rates and graphical output between the models. So, James, what did you think when you saw the Steam Deck? This kind of came out of the blue for me. We knew they were working on something.
Okay, here's my reaction. I said, "Oh, finally, a mobile console for geared towards hardcore gamers," which it is and it isn't, because the specs are much more comparable to a Nintendo Switch than they are to any of the modern consoles that we have right now, or even gaming PCs that are kind of on that level too. It would be much more comparable to like an Xbox Series S or maybe like a PS4, which is still good. That's still really incredible to like
for a little
put all
handheld
that power into a handheld.
Yeah.
It's also heavier than the Nintendo Switch.
It's double as thick too. It's gotta be
double as thick. Yeah. It's like, I think it's like 1.5 pounds.
Okay.
Pretty
It's
chunky.
not too bad.
It's a little, like, for something that you're gonna have in your hands for a while, I can see that getting a little cumbersome. But I think the big thing the Steam Deck has going for it is its library, because the Nintendo Switch requires so many games to be like ported to it, and it won't run like a lot of AAA games on it because of because of power. I think Steam Deck has the advantage in that it is the powerful enough console to run games like Control without that requiring that cloud
garbage.
Processing.
Yeah. I'm just thinking also, kind of going off what you said, that for $650, I would love to have this handheld thing like be plug in and have a 4K output or something like that. You know what I mean? Or at least a 1080 screen or something. Not just more storage and an anti-glare screen, you know? I don't know. This isn't like a big jump for me. There's nothing. I can see where this could totally come in if you don't have a PC. This is cool. The demo that they showed where they plug it into a monitor with a mouse and keyboard, I was like, damn, this looks just like Windows basically. It's like Linux basically. But you can do it. You can go on the internet. You can have a tab up on the internet and then also play the game on the side with mouse and keyboard. I'm like, this is awesome. Someone can buy a whole PC. You can't game on the PC. You're gaming off of the Steam Deck. But for $400, that's an option for someone.
An
That can be an option,
That could be
especially
an
if you have
option.
like another console and you have the Steam Deck as well to kind of complement that.
Hmm.
I guess we'll see in the coming months how that works and if that works for people or not. But in theory, it works.
I can see someone with a high-end gaming PC as their like that's their anchor,
Hmm,
right? And then they kind of maybe live more of a nomadic lifestyle,
okay.
and maybe they're moving around a lot, going from place to place. Maybe they have that Steam Deck to just pop out on trains, on
There you go.
buses, on whatever transportation they're going on to get from point A to point B. Um, I think it definitely will have its. I mean, we know it has an audience because
Oh
it had
yeah,
the
handhelds
same.
too.
Right. Because it still had that same pre-order mess that the Switch OLED pre-orders had. So many people want one.
They did. So the Switch OLED model, the
Mhm.
pre-orders went terrible. Like same as PS5 and Xbox and graphics cards and all that. Just kind of gone. Like gone in
Yeah,
seconds.
Xbox One was pretty good.
Xbox is better. Yeah, for sure.
Xbox was better. Yeah.
You can still get Xboxes easier than PlayStations
Hmm.
right now on these.
Hmm.
But on Steam, James, this blew my mind when I started seeing tweets of this. You have to go into Steam, like on your profile, to pre-order a Switch. It's a $5 deposit for this, and then you get a date like expected when yours would be available, right? Some people
Sure.
are getting that date way past December, like into
Really?
2022, like August. Like, oh yeah,
Wow.
this one will be ready by August, that kind of thing. I'm sure they're just trying to kind of manage expectations there. But
Right.
there were some people logging into Steam that have had their account for like 10 years and it says your Steam account is not old enough to pre-order. Like it was
Oh.
assuming that their Steam account was like brand new, just made to pre-order this. Where they're like, "Thanks Steam, like I've been playing on this since middle school. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm however old now, you know what I mean? Like and I
Right.
can't pre-order this. Like I want to give you money for this console, but you're literally gating me for that. That's kind of weird." So I thought that was hilariously like bad. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Not good.
If you're and there's one other thing I really want to bring up about this. I've got to ask your opinion, James.
Yeah. What's up?
Steam and Valve just don't really have a good track record of any of their accessory things being successful. Not a single one,
It's true.
except maybe their VR. You know what I mean? I guess that.
Yeah. People love their VR. The Valve
Yeah.
Index is the premium headset right now.
So let's okay. Besides from VR, we have the Steam Link, which was that thing you plugged into the TV to stream games. Dead in the water. They started selling those for like $1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you had what else have they done? They have a bunch. I saw
The
this
Steam
graphic.
machines. The
Um,
Steam machines were the like big Valve flop.
let's see. I have this. There's this hilarious graphic someone sent me. I'm looking at it right now. Pulling it up. Pulling it up. Sorry, it doesn't want to load. Okay. Well, if I ever.
Well,
That's okay. Never mind. It was funny. It was just showing like all
okay.
the different things that they put out over the years and like how their sales completely dropped after like a certain amount of time because it was kind of gimmicky. And that's it. And I know this is not going to be gimmicky, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid that it's not going to be as
Mm.
successful as people think it might be.
I know a lot of people raise the sentiment, or not the sentiment, but like the concern of, okay, Nintendo already has the mobile game market,
Yeah.
but that's also because they have no competitors.
Right. Not at all.
They don't have any competitors. Sony dropped out of that race. Nintendo, I mean, I'm not going to compare Nintendo to itself.
Right.
Um,
And
but we don't have we like at the best we have xCloud on phones, and that's it. That's
the
all we have.
Steam Deck will truly have the biggest library. And let's
Yep.
not forget about freaking sales. You can't get a sale on Nintendo to save your life, but on
No.
Steam, you might be able to wait 6 months and buy this game for like
100%.
29 cents or something. A solid game. I swear,
Yeah.
summer sales? Are you kidding me? It's
They're
crazy.
insane.
It's
They're
crazy.
insane.
So I could see this being a legit
I think
competitor.
it will be successful.
I'm too middle ground. I literally don't know. I don't know. We'll
think
see in like a year and a half.
if it delivers and it has solid, like if the playing experience is smooth,
Yeah.
then I think it will be successful. If it
Hmm.
does everything that it promises to do,
Yeah.
it will be successful.
Cool. All right.
That's my thought.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree. It's having a little serious.
Time for poopy Activision getting
Yeah.
into poopy things again. Activision Blizzard sued by California, the state of California. Oh my goodness, bless you, Vin.
Sorry. Big sneeze.
Audio listeners didn't see it, but Vin just had a huge sneeze off
I had to get
camera.
away from the mic.
Yeah, good job. Anyway, Activision Blizzard sued by the entire state of California over allegations of frat boy culture and sexual harassment. This comes from Matt T.M. Kim at IGN.
Also, shout out Matt. This is like a great article. This is a really good article.
Yeah, really good article. It's beefy. It's a beefy boy. So,
but it's important.
It's important. All of it's important information. The full details of the lawsuit are linked in the article. So if you guys are interested in some of the nitty-gritty details that we won't be covering, that's absolutely an option for you if you go onto IGN and look at this article.
And we can post the link to this article in the YouTube also. Remind me to do that when we're done recording.
Yeah. All right. Following a 2-year investigation by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, which is also referenced to as the DFEH, the state has filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard for fostering a frat boy culture in which female employees are allegedly subjected to unequal pay and sexual harassment. That frat boy culture is in quotes, so that is the explicit language used by the DFEH. As reported by Bloomberg, I think Jason Schreier wrote that article, question mark.
Let me look. Oh, you got it.
Okay, I'm going to look real quick just to make sure that's Jason Schreier.
Nope.
It's
Maeve.
Maeve
Alsup.
Maeve. Maeve Alsup, I think. I'm most likely butchering her name, but she reported that Activision Blizzard is being accused by the state of California of discriminating against female employees at nearly all levels of employment, including in regards to compensation, promotion, assignments, and termination. The state alleges Activision Blizzard's leadership has failed to address any of these outstanding issues or prevent them from occurring within the workplace. This is where the full details of the lawsuit are linked. The suit filed Tuesday in the LA Superior Court says Activision Blizzard, which is made up of about 20% women, that's not the court, but Activision Blizzard, that's made up of about 20% women, assigns women and women of color to, quote, lower paid and lower opportunity levels, end quote, with lower pay for similar work as their male counterparts. The documents also accuse Activision Blizzard of fostering a, quote, pervasive frat boy workplace culture. In the office, male employees are said to drink, quote, copious amounts of alcohol, end quote, as they make their way through cubicles and, quote, often engage in inappropriate behavior toward female employees, end quote. They call this a cubicle crawl. That is the workplace slang that they made up for this. Male employees are said to come to work hungover, play video games during work, quote, while delegating their responsibilities to female employees, engage in banter about their sexual encounters, talk openly about female bodies, and joke about rape, end quote. All around shitty behavior.
Like, really bad. Like,
really, really bad.
The crazy part for me is like
nightmare.
The wild part to me is that there's like multiple people that have been interviewed for this article, and it's like it's all aligning to this. Like it's not like people are saying different things. Like this is a common like thought process that has been there, which is disgusting. So this is the statement that Activision put out, I guess after this article came out, or not after the article, but after the lawsuit got filed, I guess.
Yes.
So Activision says, we value diversity and strive to foster a workplace that offers inclusivity for everyone. There's no place in our company or industry or any industry for sexual misconduct or harassment of any kind. We take every allegation seriously and investigate all claims. In cases related to misconduct, action was taken to address the issue. I wish we knew what that meant. Are there certain people they're getting rid of? Are they trying to it's just a PR. This is just a PR statement right here.
This really is just a PR statement.
The DFEH includes distorted and in many cases false descriptions of Blizzard's past, which I saw some tweets about too. We have been extremely cooperative with the DFEH throughout their investigation, including providing them with extensive data and ample documentation. But they refused to inform us what issues they perceived. They were required by law to adequately investigate and to have good faith discussions with us to better understand and to resolve any claims or concerns before going to litigation, but they failed to do so. Instead, they rushed to file an inaccurate complaint. As we will demonstrate in court, we are sickened by the reprehensible conduct of the DFEH to drag in the complaint.
This is where the rhetoric goes off the rails.
Dude, they are going at the DFEH right now.
They really are.
And I wish I can't side with Activision here. They have too many people that have have
No
come
way.
to like say
No
these
way.
things about this frat boy
No way.
culture and this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's not just the DFEH. We're talking people now. The people
Right.
are talking. Your
Right.
workers, your own people that are going through this.
Right.
I don't know. We are sticking by the reprehensible conduct of the DFEH to drag in the complaint the tragic suicide of an employee whose passing had no bearing whatsoever on this case and with no regard to her grieving family. I don't know who they're referring to, but I'll have to look that up. Will they find this behavior to be disgraceful and unprofessional? It is unfortunately an example of how they have conducted themselves throughout the course of their investigation. It is this type of irresponsible behavior from the unaccountable state bureaucrats,
That's exactly what it sounds like.
that are driving the many of the state's best businesses out of California. Activision's
Exactly
like,
what it
if
sounds
they're
like.
if they're gonna tell us that we're doing bad things, we might as well just leave California.
Exactly. So the suicide
God.
is talking about, it says in the IGN article, it says the lawsuit also cites one particular incident where a female employee who was already subjected to intense sexual harassment at the company committed suicide during a work trip with a male supervisor who allegedly brought inappropriate sexual items with him on the trip.
Oh my God. That's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Absolutely awful. Jason Schreier incidentally put out another article about the development team of Warcraft 3 exhibiting similar stressors with the mediocre game as a product of the anxiety and toxicity at work in the aforementioned article. Indicative quotes of this in the article say like morale plummeted, saying Rob Breidenbecker, the head of Classic Games team, was known for an aggressive managerial style for taking frequent trips out of the country during production and a tendency to give unrealistic deadlines. Miscommunication became a serious issue across the team, as did arguments over the scope and art style, according to people familiar with the matter. Breidenbecker, who left Blizzard in April, declined to comment. We have, and
Of
this is a
course.
separate quote, we have developers who have dealt with exhaustion, anxiety, depression, and more for a year now, the developers later said in the post-mortem. Many have lost trust in the team and this company. Many players also have lost trust, and the launch certainly didn't help an already rough year for Blizzard's image. So this is just going out into every facet of the company, even into their game development.
Right. And the sad part is that I'm sure this is not the only studio where this is happening, right?
Absolutely not.
There's
I mean, you
no
look at a
shot.
studio like Ubisoft, right, in which a lot of the same, not, I mean, maybe not frat boy culture, but a lot of sexual assault stuff has been going on. Another
Yeah.
Ubisoft art director just left Ubisoft the other day,
And
unrelated to sexual, I mean, as far as we know, unrelated to sexual assault things. But that's another company that's just so big that has been like so deep in this kind of sexual assault culture,
right.
refusing to do anything about it,
And
blatant racism on the team. Yeah.
we got two like Ubisoft articles coming up that are like about Ubisoft, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's countless people there was so much Ubisoft news this week, but every time something came out, there was always a large group of people that were like I wish I could be excited about this, but I cannot be excited about this because
Right.
of these things that people have said over and over again that are happening at the company.
Right.
And I totally understand. Like I get that. I like it's tough. What do you do? What do you do? Like how like sorry like you can't just tweet and solve these problems either. You know what I mean?
Can't.
Like that's
You can't.
something that has to come within the company or something
Right.
has to change.
You really have to reform everything, all new staff. You have to rebuild managerial positions, like do the
And
whole 9 yards. And it
it's
takes
wild
time, and people don't want to put in that time to fix it too.
because there's probably great people there, and there's
Yeah.
probably a lot of terrible, awful people there. We got to get rid of those terrible people, replace them with some other good people because there's good people that want those jobs and that could do those jobs. You know what I mean? There's
Yep.
people qualified to do
Absolutely.
those jobs.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. Wild. James.
With that, we're going to continue on to our ad break. Support for Checkpoint is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. With this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code StrictlyCasual. That's all one word, StrictlyCasual at manscaped.com. Guys, Manscaped delivers high quality packaging. It's got some super like matte finish, very organized packaging.
Oh
It's got
yeah.
wireless charging. You just plug that bad boy into your wall or a USB port, and then you just drop the Lawnmower 4.0 right in that little wireless charger. Don't even got to worry about it. It's got incredible build quality, skin safe technology. Make sure that your family jewels go unscathed. And then Vin, you want to give a little story about it. Last week I was talking about how I went a little buck wild, a little go crazy. Vin, tell me about your experience.
I mean, last week you were telling me about how you used no guard down there, no guard whatsoever, and you just went for it.
It was a bold move, might I say.
And I did the same. Absolutely no issues down there.
You're an absolute
absolutely no issues. I did the entire chest shave as well.
Manscaped does not recommend that you use no guard. You are supposed to use a guard.
You're supposed to use a guard. But anyways, no nicks, no problems. It's all good. I'm completely clean from the chest down, baby. The chest down.
You went all the way.
I mean, I stopped at the thighs. Of course I stopped at the thighs, but it's real nice. It's smooth all the way down. It works flawlessly. And do you know what? One thing I want to compare this to is I had a previous electric razor that I tried to do these, shave it all. I'm an Italian. I'm a little bit of a hairy boy. I will say I'm a hairy boy. And this thing would struggle through like the thick chest hair and like that kind of stuff. It would like this old one, but you go with that Manscaped, that Lawnmower 4.0, dude. Gliding
ceramic
through.
Blade.
You just glide right through every single time.
Ceramic blade cuts so nice.
It's great. I don't think I could ever go back to anything after.
I can't either.
Definitely not.
Wow.
So.
Thank you, Manscaped. Guys, get 20% off and free shipping with the code strictlycasual. Again, that's all one word, strictlycasual at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code strictlycasual. Unlock your confidence with the new Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped.
Let's go. Thank you, Manscaped.
Thank you, Manscaped.
All right.
Guys, we're going to move on to some Death's Door reviews. It's an indie game that just released this past week. It was unveiled at the last Microsoft event. Vin, do you remember what
and I'm upset.
Event was? Yeah, Vin, you are upset.
I think it was at E3. It was at E3, right?
Yeah, Summer Games Fest, E3, etc., etc.
Here's what I'm mad about, everybody. Listen up. Listen up. At the Xbox event, here I am. As a little Sony pony, as I am, everybody knows I love me some Sony, but I love me some Game Pass, okay? I love me some Game Pass on the PC. I play a lot of stuff on Game Pass. Here's my problem. Death's Door, everything at this damn E3 conference was like, oh, here we are. Everything's on Game Pass. Day one, PC, console, all this. Death's Door, not on PC Game Pass. So guess who's not playing Death's Door? Your boy. Because I don't want to pay $35 for it. Or I think it's $35 on Steam. I tried to look it up. But it looks gorgeous, dude. It looks so good. Everybody's raving about it. Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of jealous.
All the journalists I follow are like, oh, I can't take my hands off of Death's Door. I just want to keep playing Death's Door.
They say it's Game of the Year material.
Death's Door. Remember, Vin, when we were watching Summer Games Fest? I was like, this game looks fucking great.
That was probably one of your most hype of the whole conference, I will say.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I got that, Ivan. Don't you worry. I got
I'm
that
still waiting
for my indies.
I'm still waiting for that other indie. Not the Ascent, but they called it something else. It was just like shaded, like cell shaded, but like realistic lighting, but also 8-bit kind of dealio. I forget the name. It looks so cool.
Oh! Is
it's not the Ascent.
Me and you're like, Vincent, like James, you gotta check out this,
dude. Oh, can't wait. But Death's Door, incredible reviews.
It's sitting at an 86 Metascore right now. What? Hardcore Gamer gave it a 9 out of 10. Or these are all out in Metacritic just translates all of the scores to out of 100.
Yeah.
Whether it's out of 5 or out of 10, just bump up the ratio to out of 100. Metascore is 86. Hardcore Gamer gave it a 90. Easy Allies gave it an 85. IGN gave it a 90. Screen Rant gave it a 90. PC Gamer gave it an 83. GameSpot gave it an 80. Nothing but rave reviews.
I would love to play this game, James.
Me too.
Do you know what this sounds really good on? A Steam Deck.
Switch. Oh. We both went the same mobile gaming route.
We did. I would like to play this on the PC. I feel like it would be better visuals too, because the particles and stuff look pretty cool on here, like all the little effects. So that could be great.
I like to play it on my PS5. But
yeah, me too. I'd love to play it on my PS5, but that's not gonna happen. So
not gonna happen. All right.
Summer sale? Steam? Where are you at?
Maybe.
Put it on Game Pass. Why is it not on Game Pass? I literally don't understand. I don't understand it at all.
And I've been thinking about getting a Series S.
Yeah.
Just for a Game Pass machine.
Oh, I just want it for Forza, dude. I just want Forza so badly.
I want Forza so bad.
Man, how do I... we'll talk.
That's how
We
we
gotta
sell
figure this
feet
out.
picks for our Forza fund.
That's
Feet picks for
fine.
Forza.
Feed pics for Forza. You think we could start a website? We could just start an Only Feet, Only Fans, Only
Only
Forza.
fans, only Forza.
Oh my gosh, this is genius. Okay, we'll have a brainstorm meeting immediately following this episode. Stay tuned for next week on what our plan is to buy a Series S with our feet. Okay, next up, Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon, and The Division. Ubisoft's three major titles merge in Ubisoft's 6v6 free-to-play FPS X-Defiant, which absolutely no one asked for. But we were okay. Here we go. I'll tell you my roller coaster emotions. I gotta say that before we go into this. We get this little. I'm scrolling on Twitter one morning. I think it was like 2 mornings ago,
Right.
and we get this little like FPS thing that looks, It just looks like an FPS, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then I keep scrolling, and it's like, tomorrow we unveil a new Tom Clancy game, and I was like, oh my god, it's finally time, baby. Splinter Cell, it's time. Let's go. Here we
I
are.
knew they wouldn't do it.
And then I keep scrolling. Like, this is hours later. So all day I'm thinking, wow, a Ubisoft first-person shooter. And then tomorrow we get a brand new Tom Clancy game. I mean, what are we living in? Why haven't they done this? Why didn't they show this at E3? That kind of thing. So, but then I'm looking, and Ubisoft is like, oh no, that Tom Clancy game is the first-person shooter. And it's just our three kind of titles going together. And it just looks very okay. Nobody's talking about it right now. Everybody was talking about it for like 30 seconds, and then it's like gone. But this comes from Eurogamer. Ubisoft has unveiled its previously teased new Tom Clancy game, revealing it to be X-Defiant, a free 6v6 first-person shooter that, just as leaks suggested, mashes up factions from Ghost Recon, The Division, and Splinter Cell. In its announcement video, Ubisoft calls X-Defiant a high-octane arena shooter, playable solo or with friends, that features an irreverent and rebellious take on the normally serious Clancy vibe, alongside realistic gunplay. You never know what that means these days. And personalized classes in the form of factions. That's like saying boots on the ground. It's just not good. Like, please, everybody, stop calling your games boots on the ground games.
Well, I think that was during the era of like Black Ops 4 and things, when it wasn't expected that your game was going to be boots on the ground because everything was jump packy and move around and
Yeah,
jump
but
around. So
I just saw in the description for Company of Heroes 3 or whatever, that, the strategy game, they said this is boots on the ground combat. I'm like, what does that mean? I have no idea. It's like an over the head troop simulator game. Like what do you mean? Anyways, players will be able to mix and match any faction, loadout, and weapon. Ubisoft promises an arsenal of authentic weapons and attachments. These can all be switched at will during respawn, like a regular game. Initially, X-Defiant will feature 4 factions inspired by Maverick groups across Ubisoft's Tom Clancy games. Ghost Recon's Wolves, for instance, are a tank-style class with access to higher tech and shield-based abilities, while Splinter Cell's Echelon, are support-style class all about hiding information from the enemy and giving more to teammates. As for The Division, it's represented by 2 factions. The Cleaners are a fire-based high DPS assault class, while the Outcasts are the healer class. X-Defiant, which will be led by Ubisoft's San Francisco studio, is still early in development, but interested parties can sign up now to participate in the game's early rollout phases. It'll be out on PS4, 5, Xbox One, Series S, X, PC, Amazon Luna, and Stadia, with full crossplay expected at launch. The literal whole gambit. Yeah. I saw the footage, absolutely did nothing for me. I saw Gene Park called it uninspired, couldn't agree more. Yep. But you know what? FPSs, it talks to me when it's fun. It talks to me when it's fun, and I might play this game, and who knows, I could be a great time, could be a lot of fun, or I could put it down right away. I don't know until it's out.
Split game.
No, because that'll fall off for me eventually too. You know what I mean? Like this is, it'll be fun for a little bit. It won't hold me forever, but I'm not like looking forward to this. This is not like jumping on my anticipated games list or anything.
No. It's, you know what? Some aspects of it, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, but like they're like a little quirky.
Quirky.
A little quirky.
It's like a backhanded compliment.
No. It's just, I mean, it's trying to do like interesting things.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if they actually do anything for me or the player base.
I like the class. Like it sounds like it might have some teamwork or strategy to it, but again,
sure,
it might mean nothing.
Classes are cool, but it's just, there's too many better shooters out right now.
To
And for
play.
them to try and break the surface tension of the first person class-based shooter is a lot. And I don't
Who
think they
knows?
can do it.
It's Ubisoft, James. It's Ubisoft. You never know.
Ubisoft is such a wild card, man.
Total wild card. Big time. But that's it.
Yep.
If you're excited about X Defiant, there's some random clips up that they gave to streamers to post before the reveal. And the streamers hadn't even played the game yet, but they just paid him to post like a 15-second video clip of like a play. And the streamers like had these stupid descriptions like, oh, look at this clip from X Defiant. Like, oh, check this out. Like, dog, you just got a pre-recorded clip from Ubisoft and posted it for probably like 10 grand or something to your audience of like 2.4 million. It's hilarious. So that's all. That's all I gotta say.
Ben, tell us about the Assassin's Creed expansion.
James, this is gonna surprise you. Have you read this yet? Have you read
No,
what I
I
wrote
haven't
down
read
here?
it at all.
Perfect.
Let's
Don't
hear
read it. Don't read it.
Okay.
This is just wild. This is mind blowing to me. This is my favorite article in the whole doc today.
Epic.
First, it was an Assassin's Creed expansion. Now it's Ubisoft's 8-year nightmare. Okay? This is from
Tell me
Kotaku.
why.
A few people said it was cursed. Others simply had no idea what they were supposed to be making. Quote, nobody knew what the fuck they were doing, said one former developer. This is in the Kotaku article, okay? Skull and Bones development began back in 2013 as a multiplayer. This is Skull and Bones. This is Skull and Bones, the pirate game, okay? Skull and Bones development began back in 2013 as a multiplayer expansion to Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag that would release as a post-launch update. 3 sources with knowledge of the project's origins said, the expansion soon took on a life of its own, however, morphing into a full-blown MMO-like spin-off with the working title Black Flag Infinite. Sounds very familiar to Assassin's Creed Infinite, which we talked about 2 weeks ago. And later, a brand new pirate game called Skull and Bones. This game made a big splash with an on-stage reveal and hands-on demo at E3 2017, and returned a year later with a second polished demo, and has since disappeared. Absolutely disappeared. Sources are split over what happened. Some say despite the well-received E3 blowouts, the game effectively didn't exist. Others argue that a version of what was playable at the industry events could have launched roughly on time in early access and matured in the wild as other games of service have. Years later, it's 2021, the game is still struggling to take shape and people are running on empty. Quote, a lot of stuff still doesn't make sense, said one former developer. Quote, just polishing it at this point would be a waste of time. Skull and Bones was originally supposed to launch in late 2018, then sometime in 2019, then sometime after March 2020, then sometime before March 2021, and now it's due to come out past March 2023. Skull and Bones never had a clear creative behind it. It suffered from too many managers vying for power and was plagued by almost annual reboots and mini refreshes, they said. Years into development, basic questions around the game's core design still haven't been nailed down, nearly 8 years after it was first conceived. Skull and Bones has blown through its initial budgets. According to 3 sources, the project has already cost Ubisoft more than $120 million. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I just took the best, like some of the best parts, but this is a long article that goes like way into detail about like former heads of this project saying like there's nothing you can do about this game. Like every year they would put a new idea in and then completely reboot the game to focus on that idea instead of adding it as like a supplementary thing in there. Dude, Skull and Bones is a train wreck after reading this article. It's never coming out. There's no shot. But
no way.
Here's the other thing the article said that I get is that Ubisoft has already put so much money into this. Can you imagine how much of a they would be down bad if they canceled this project right now?
Yeah.
And I think every year
they put too much money in it to not
exactly
keep going.
They keep putting money in. They're like, it's gonna come out. We can't cancel it now. Maybe 10 more million will help this. 20 more million will help this. Oh my god, this article is so well written too. It's like a roller coaster, bro. You read the whole thing, it's like this is wild. So
you know,
that's
there's some managers in Ubisoft like drinking themselves to sleep
reading this.
We're on this dev team.
Dude, I can't imagine
developing the game every night. Not even after reading this, just every night, knowing that they're working on this money pit.
I mean, apparently the demos were like such a vertical slice, like the tiniest vertical slice ever. Like you couldn't, the game wasn't playable. Like I don't know, it's wild. Also, it better have better ship Ship Combat than Black Flag, because
It's
Black
never
Flag was a
coming out.
great start.
This game is never coming out.
I hoped we see it one day. I hope we see it one day drop for $60 and then immediately drop to 20, and your boy picks it up and plays for one single time.
One single time. And it's worth it. It's worth that $20.
Oh, are you kidding me? As long as we're singing sea shanties and sinking ships, dude, I'm in. Absolutely. That's my favorite.
Epic. Guys, we got new Battlefield 2042 news today. We got
Leaks.
Battlefield Portal details.
Leaks, right?
No, not leaks.
Because this is supposed to be unveiled at 10 a.m. today. In 20 minutes, our time from recording, EA Play goes live, in which they're releasing this. I think this is all a leak right now. Not official, but we'll see. Possibly.
Nope. GameRant got a chance to go hands-on with the online experience.
There you go.
This is from a remote preview event.
Why would they post that before it gets announced in like the morning of? I don't get it. But anyways, continue.
This is not leaks. All right, Battlefield Portal is a community-driven sandbox for Battlefield 2042 that consists of 6 maps from 4 different Battlefield games entirely for unique player-driven experiences. It allows for sharing and building custom game modes, includes content from Battlefield 1942, Bad Company 2, and Battlefield 3. I know, epic. And of course, Battlefield 2042. Maps include Caspian Border and North Shore Canals from Battlefield 3, Battle of the Bulge, and El Alamein from Battlefield 1942, and Arica Harbor and Valparaiso from Battlefield Bad Company 2. All of these maps have been rebuilt from the ground up in modern Frostbite, as we'd love to see. Mixing, so what you can do is you can mix and match elements from different games together. So you can add Battlefield 1942 weapons to Battlefield 3 maps, and kind of do that whole thing.
Do you think they'll have the weapons from these games in the game?
Yeah.
James, do you think when they say elements, can we take the natural environment disasters and bring those into like the Battlefield 2042 map or the 1942 maps? God, too many twos.
I would think so.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be really cool. But it depends on if they're like specifically meant to interact with certain elements in them. Anyway. In addition, there's also a rules editor that allows you to use visual scripting to heavily modify the game's rules and custom logic. And then you can share that custom logic with community members, allowing them to work on it without overriding your previous work.
I love it.
I make this new set of rules for like how this one map, this one game is supposed to be played. And then I send it to you. I say, hey, can you add some stuff to this? And you work on your own, and you're like, oh, I can do this, this, and this. But like, it's like, oh, well, like that's not the direction I was going. I still have my original rules.
Yeah.
And I just you just copy and paste it to yourself, and you're now working on it. Now you have your own set of rules and like scripts and things for how the game runs. And I can download that from you again if I like that, or I don't have to because it doesn't overwrite my previous work.
Do you know what this is telling me right now? Is that they're really focusing on quality of life for these games. Because Battlefield 5 did not have very good quality of life. They kind of released a bunch of stuff and kind of let it be and did some like updates and patches. I could totally see Battlefield 4 maps coming to this later on, like other from my point of view, what they're probably seeing right now is like how much attention they get for this, and maybe when the game launches, how much people are actually engaged in this, and they'll go from there like, okay, we could probably bring this map in and people would love that sort of dealio.
Right. So the article they bring in, so in Battlefield 3 and in prior Battlefields, Rush is a huge game mode.
Yep.
But Battlefield 2042 does not ship with Rush. It doesn't have Rush as a game mode. So people use the portal to implement Rush into Battlefield 2042.
I like that.
Which I think is super, super cool.
Yeah, that is pretty nice.
So I think it's really cool that they're empowering their community to be creative and do things in ways they want.
And we'll get gameplay literally today, like about EA Play. Yep. I wish I could watch EA Play, but I'm going to be too late.
Why can't you?
What time is it? I mean, I'd love to record like reaction to it, but I don't know. It's at 10 o'clock. But there's no Star Wars. There's no, they already said, the only thing I'm excited for is Battlefield. And it's going to be like an hour and a half of like other stuff I don't really care about. So maybe I'll just tune in for Battlefield. I don't know. We'll see.
I hear you. All right. That's all I got for that.
And finally, I just want to mention this. We don't even have to go over this as a real article, but District 9 director Neil Blomkamp, who also did like Chappie and stuff like that. Yeah, he's great. And he's also the main actor in it, I believe, too. He doubled. He doubled. Remember when we watched this, James? James and I bonded over this movie way back. Remember this?
District 9?
Yeah, remember?
Okay,
So
because I was like, I love District 9. And you're just
yeah.
like, man, I don't know.
No, I had never
And
seen it.
yeah, oh, that's right. You'd never seen it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we gotta watch it. And so then we watched it.
It was great. It's
It
so
was
good.
so good.
Because District 9 is like not only a sci-fi movie, but has like some real good political commentary in it.
Yes.
Like that's what it's
Yes,
all about.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
And then Luis just wanted to watch Chappie.
Yeah, Chappie's not good. I'm so sorry. Chappie was a miss for me, but District 9, I'm all in, okay? So Neil Blomkiff is making a multiplayer online shooter. Now this sounds kind of weird, but here's what we got. This comes from Rock Paper Shotgun. Neil Blomkamp has fitted around the periphery of the gaming world for a few years now, which I had no idea. Even before he made his first and best, I like how they said first and best movie, District 9, he was working on a Halo film and recently filmed a trailer for Anthem 2. You should watch this, James. He did a live action trailer for Anthem and it's awesome. It's so
sounds
cool.
Really cool. That sounds really cool.
But now he's getting into games. He joined Gunzilla Games as their chief visionary officer, and their debut first game will be an online shooter, which, okay, there's so many online shooters. There's nothing else we know about the game right now, but at least we know the trailer will be a banger. And they just talked to Neil about how directing is a different skill set. Directing a movie is a different skill set than directing the game, but his like creative vision can come into both. And that's why he's not like a technical director of this game. He's like the visionary director of the game, which is cool. And so, you know what? I'll play whatever comes in his brain because I genuinely enjoy what he's created in the past. So that's exciting. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure that's
the phrase when I worked on Chappie so many times.
Yep. So when I worked on Chappie, I learned I hate that movie. It's actually not that. It's not that bad, but it's not as good as District 9.
No, definitely not as good as District 9.
It's everybody's favorite segment right now. Random fun stuff. James, start us off with the first random fun stuff fact.
Rainbow Six Extraction. Yep. Rainbow Six Extraction and Riders Republic have both been delayed. Rainbow Six 2022 and Riders Republic out from like September 9th to October 28th. Still releasing this year.
Do you think Ubisoft delayed these to get more work in on Skull and Bones?
I hope so.
Resident Evil Reverse delayed to 2022.
Starting this week, get 6 months of Apple TV Plus free on PS5.
That's great. If you got a PS5, you gotta get that. Yeah. Fall Guys Ratchet and Clank in-game event coming July 26th through August 1st. Whoa, I did not know that. Very cool.
A Ferrari is coming to Fortnite.
James, imagine 1 year from now when a kid sees a Ferrari on the road. Oh my God, they made the car from Fortnite. That's how it goes. The PlayStation Summer Sale begins today. Standouts include Hitman 3 for $30, Miles Morales for $34. Is that that's $34 with Spider-Man Remastered included, right? For $34? Because the base game's only $40, right?
I don't know.
That'd be cool. Demon Souls for $49.69 and Returnal for $49.69.
Aloy is coming to Genshin Impact.
This is big. We can't just lower this to a sentence. This is effing huge, okay? So Genshin Impact tweets this picture of like a characterized version of Aloy, and it's coming as a limited time character in Genshin Impact, but it's like a permanent character. You can only get it for a limited time. You know damn well I'm going to be there. I'm going to be all about it. I cannot wait. It's coming as a cryo character for those who care about the elemental types. She's an archer, obviously, in the game. I don't have any cryo characters on my team, so this is going to be perfect. This is a perfect team build for me. I got cryo, fire, or pyro. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island trailer released. I haven't seen it, but Vin, you watched it.
Gorgeous.
There's a flute in it where you can like tame animals and then you can come back and pet them after you've tamed them.
I'm a little concerned about the story of the update or of this expansion because the story in the first game is absolutely perfect and like gut-wrenchingly good. At least gut-wrenchingly. Wow. Okay. And then this expansion is a little more like mystical, I guess. Like I like Legends to be mystical, but I want a grounded story. Like I don't need magic shit, but I feel like they're kind of going the magic route with this one. And I was like, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to just play more Ghost of Tsushima. It's such a good game. Oh my God.
Can't wait to play it.
And that's episode 74, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
James, Any closing words?
Thank you guys so much for listening, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on our audio platforms. This one didn't go to Twitch, so thank you guys to both of you guys on those platforms. Don't forget to follow, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to drop that like. Do whatever you guys want to support us. Guys, everything helps. Every little bit helps. Leave us that review on audio platforms. And thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this video.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out for episode 74. I had a great time. This is an awesome episode. I loved
Great
it.
episode. Yeah, a lot of fun.
We will see you guys next week. Also, there's some extra videos up on the YouTube. Ryder's getting a brand new video out. I don't think he's announced it yet. Next week, he's working on it right now. We just put up a Scarlet Nexus video. Our Loki reviews are completely done. But we're going to be trying out a lot of new like one-off content in between the podcasts coming up soon. So that's exciting too. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for hanging out. Peace out, guys.